Yo. What's up, peeps? Sorry that took so long. It is obviously Mother's Day, so hopefully y'all are having a good Mother's Day. Hopefully all of you have called your mothers at this point and wished them a happy Mother's Day. LTC just ripping right now. What's up, chat? All right, dope. Cool. We got a lot of people here. 240 already. It's awesome. So, welcome back to another Ethereum and Chill with Trader Main. I'm so small in the corner. I don't want everyone looking at me. I want you looking at the fucking chart. With Trader Main. So, hope everyone's having a good weekend, having a good day. Market's pumping. Who can complain? So, what we're going to be covering today. Primarily the big three: Bitcoin, Ethereum, LTC, making me rich, all-time highs. Let's go. So we'll be talking about that. We'll also talk about Doge. Obviously, I posted a Doge short that I took yesterday during SNL. So we can talk about kind of my thought process, why I shorted it. And then we can also discuss some altcoins. I got my eye on a few coins that are pumping and looking good. So we'll kind of just go with the flow. Yeah, we'll just kind of watch the weekly close happening in about an hour together. And then we'll take some requests and we'll go from there. So as usual, shout out to the homies, the team at Prime XBT. For sponsoring the stream. So I appreciate, or not Prime, oh my goodness, with Bybit, oh god, I'm in trouble. With Bybit for sponsoring the stream. We no longer are working with Prime. Prime is dead to me now. We're working with Bybit. So right now, Bybit's got another promotion going on. It's a balance booster promotion. So basically, you can get some free returns on your wallet balance. So it doesn't matter what you have in there. It's 15% APY risk-free returns. So it's as if you're kind of lending out / staking your wallet balance on Bybit. So I've got a link with information about the promotion in the description of this video. So check that out. Bybit. Definitely not Prime. Bybit. Yeah, they've been helping me out. Really love working with them. So show them some love. Help me out. Click that link in the description. Really appreciate it. Oh man, I'm gonna get fired after this episode apparently. What's up, chat? Yeah, the mustache. I was shaving, so I'm not very good at growing facial hair. So I was trying to just trim it, right? Trim the perf stash, make it look a little nice. And I just shaved a little too much, right? So I shaved a little too much, whole thing had to go. So unfortunately, it'll take me a couple of weeks to get back to its former glory. Yeah, with all that being said, what's up to everyone in the chat? I appreciate y'all tuning in. Really stoked for this episode. So let's fucking get into it before I fuck up anymore. Already at the start of the video, already fucking blown it. So we'll start with Bitcoin, and we'll start with kind of what I think's happening with Bitcoin, kind of price-wise. And then we'll get into Ethereum, we'll get into Litecoin, and then we will kind of go from there. So, yeah, cool. So looking at Bitcoin here on the weekly, I mean, not a lot has changed since the last video, right? So, I mean, in the last video, we obviously had the, big push up, large push up here into kind of supply, right? So, God. Right, so we're in a supply here. right? So this, if anywhere is going to form a top here on this move up, it's right where we are now. It's going to be somewhere between kind of, this 60 to, 62K area. If I had to guess, there's probably some sort of daily supply, a daily bearish order block in here that we could look for weakness in to short. But realistically, I'm leaning towards us making a new all-time high, so long as we're holding above a couple key levels here. So first of all, there's a key level here on the monthly that we've come into, wicked, and rejected from. So this is going to be one of the first kind of bias levels that we're going to talk about here. And then the other bias level that I have is going to be right around, where is it here? It's going to be right around like this kind of breaker block, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But basically, it's kind of like the median point of this range. So if you were to take this as your trading range here, not from here to here, from here to here, right around the median point of the range, a little bit higher, is going to be kind of my bias level for a new all-time high. Because we've basically come in, right? If this is our trading range, you could even say this is our trading range, and this was a deviation. But we held the range EQ, deviated above, we traded below the mid-range, and now we're back above it. So as long as we're hanging out, I think above mid-range, I think the logical next kind of place on the bull side for price to tag is going to be up here. Obviously, we could roll over from here, but I have a feeling that we're going to push a little bit higher first. So I'm going to just get that monthly level back here. So if we look on the daily chart, we're into this kind of key monthly level right now. So basically this level comes from here, right? It's this monthly close, this monthly open. And you can see it's been an interesting level for price, right? We've rejected from it essentially. We've come above, failed to hold, rejected, came above, failed to hold, and now we're in it again. So a pretty easy, long trigger for me is to get a high time frame, whether that's a daily or a weekly candle close above here, and then have some sort of retest play as a long setup. So what could that look like? Let's say this daily candle closes above here. You have to realize this daily candle closed above, right? But then the next two broke below. So what I want to see actually something more similar to this, but instead of obviously having a nuke, I want to retest to hold here. So right now we've been building a little bit of an uptrend. We've SFP'd into these highs, but if we can get a decent daily close, make a higher high, right, and then get a retest of this level, I think that would be a safe bet for some sort of higher low to form for another leg up to run this high. The one risk that we run here is that this is like some sort of bear flag, right? This could be like a bear flag. This could also be like a kind of rising wedge or something like that, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. All that is kind of evident here is that we are putting in just in this little square of price action. We're putting in higher lows and higher highs here. So we need a higher high, and then we want to bid the higher low, and this is going to be the bias level, right? So if we can put in a higher high, get a close above here, and then long a retest of this daily order block confluent with this SR level, I think that would be a pretty good long trigger for higher prices. So what you need, the ingredients, right, of a good trade setup needs a few things. And for me, if you watched a video I did, so on Friday, I did a stream with Crypto Cred, who's in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but I was on his channel. And we did a stream and we talked about a couple of my setups and the two main setups that I look for. I basically trade two setups. 90% of the trades that I trade are the same setup. And they are a return to origin, aka like return to the order block, or they are a breaker setup, right? These are my two bread and butter setups. These are entry fractals, they're a pattern, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is exactly how I enter trades, but I can't just look for every single order block and just long it, right? It doesn't work like that. So what you need to do, right, is you need to have context, confluence. You need to have multiple pieces of data that when combined together give you a bias directionally, and then as well, you need a key level to kind of frame your trade around, right? So I've been talking about this for fucking months now, about doing an educational video where I'll kind of go over my entry techniques. It is something that I want to do. I'm just really bad at structuring my shit. My favorite type of videos are these ones where I'm doing kind of just free flowing, just chatting and things like that. As opposed to having like a video where I'm, planning in advance and writing out slides and that kind of shit. That's not really my bread and butter. It is something I want to try and work on because I do think it'd be valuable. But anyways, so you need those kind of ingredients to form a setup, right? Because this is a daily bullish order block here. Well, that would not have been a very good long, right? So you need context. Well, what was the context in this instance, right? Well, the context in this instance was that we had a failure to reclaim a previous all-time high. So you don't want to long this order block. This order block is kind of in the middle of nowhere at this point, right? Whereas this order block that I'm looking to long, I have a key SR level near it. So what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a setup, right? I'm looking for one of those two entry fractals, but I'm also looking for some sort of bias level, key SR level that I can make my decision on. That could also be a range, right? So I'm not taking trades here or here. I'm taking trades at the range low, the range EQ, and the range high, right? Because if we have a bullish trend leading into the range, I want to long near the range low because my anticipation is higher. I want to long on a flip of the EQ. I want to long on a breakout of the range, right? Because these give you a level to tie in your entry fractal, right? You need kind of multiple pieces of confluence. So right now I have my key monthly level, okay? I have my low time frame, relatively low time frame uptrend forming here, right? Higher lows, higher highs. So this could be the retest happening right now. But what I'm kind of hoping we get is one more bullish close above here, and then one more pullback into this level or as far as into here before higher prices, right? So that's the kind of setup that I'm going to be eyeing for on Bitcoin to go and make a new high. And as long as we're holding above here, I'm still bullish for a move up. Now, if you're bearish or if you want to short, where do you do it? Where do you hedge? That's obviously an interesting question. I would say it's in here. This is kind of the daily supply that caused this big breakdown. So the big breakdown that we had, it started here, right? So I haven't shorted here. I took a short here, right? Got stopped out. We talked about that. I need a reason to short. And it's not just a tagging of this order block, right? It's going to have to be some sort of weakness. So maybe we get, a high form in here, and then we get a run of that high and then a breakdown, right? So a kind of over under, a head and shoulders, an SFP, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I want to see price showing me that it does not want to go higher and it wants to reject. Right? So it's the opposite of what happened here. Here you have a move into your demand. So your demand is over here. Draw that out. You have a low and then you have a SFP. This is now price telling you that it might want to reverse. You go in on the low time frame and you find an entry. That's what I would be looking for in here as a trigger to get short. Otherwise, I'm not interested in blind shorting this area. Altcoins are extremely strong right now. Ethereum is extremely strong right now. Bitcoin dominance is extremely oversold right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big move on Bitcoin, right? Because even a move from here to, let's say, 64K, right? A new all-time high is well over a 10% move on Bitcoin. This would suck the air out of a lot of altcoin plays and bring some dominance back to Bitcoin, which has effectively been getting outpaced ever since the low here. It's been getting outpaced heavily by alts, right? So I want to see some sort of clue that there's weakness before I just punt a short. I'm not just going to punt a short in here. If there's some big SFP or some bullshit like that, I will short it. Otherwise, my bias for now, going into the weekly close, the new week's open, is actually going to be looking for a long to take out all-time high here. All right, so this could have been it right here. We have this big long wick here right into the demand. Right into demand. So this could be it. But ideally, I want to see one more move away, make a higher high. Right? Make a higher high, then get a pullback. That would be kind of a primo long for me. But I don't know if I'm going to get that. But if I get something like this, I would long it with a target of here. And then, I don't know, if this low is there, you could put a stop there. Or you can put your stop looser. But there's going to, from here to here, with a stop here, is still a 2 to 1. So let's just draw it out here. Right, so that's just with your stop at the edge of the order block, which is quite loose relative to this wick. You've got a 2.5R almost. If you have a tighter stop, you're into 3R territory. So there's definitely a setup to be had here on the high time frame. And as always, if we get that move away that we want, right, and then a pullback, exact same thing that I talked about happening up here, like an SFP to get short on the lower time frame, that can happen in reverse here, right? And you can get some sort of trigger on the low time frame to get in. Now your stop is here and your entry is here, so it's a much tighter risk reward with a target of there. Okay, so those are the key bias levels that I'm working with right now on Bitcoin. I'm working with this area of demand. I'm working with this swing high. I want to see a move up, a pull back, even just a back test of these highs would be a reason to get long with a target of here, because I think there's a good chance we're going to run this high in here, right? So that's kind of the game plan for now. Hopefully get a move up, pull back, opportunity to long, and then we can kind of see what happens after that. If we get some sort of big fuck you above all-time high, then now we know what to do. Once we're above all-time high, let's assume for a second that we do go above all-time high. What you want to look out for is this. So what we don't want to see is the same shit that happened here happen above the next all-time high, because to me that would be actually quite weak and I'd expect another big drop. So if you notice here, we made an all-time high, but we failed to close or to hold, right? Came up, retest, small bounce, that's a lower high, breakdown, back test, that's a short op, and then the sell-off, right? That's what we don't want to see here. So if we do this, right, what are you going to do? You're going to get the fuck out of your longs. If we make a new all-time high and then deviate back below it, exactly like we did here, that's going to be your signal, right, to get out of longs, potentially hop in a short, because that's going to be a sign of real weakness. We'll make a marginally higher high, break back below, get the fuck out, reassess, right? So that's the only thing I would look out for on the kind of new all-time high weakness front, right? If we do kind of a fractal, right? We've had barely new all-time high, failed to hold, sell-off. Barely new all-time high, failed to hold, sell-off. So if we see that again up here, that's going to be a short trigger. And this is very shortable on the low time frame, right? Like if you go look at it, we made the new all-time high, but then market structure shifted bearish on the H1, right? We have a high. Here's your higher low, right? Now we have a lower low. So what is the expectation? You draw out your bearish order block into the future, right? And you sell the lower high. Maybe you don't get this. This is like the Pico, right? That one you might not get. Let's assume that you're waiting. You say, okay, well, maybe it's going to bounce from here and go up. When it breaks low again and breaks this low, you have to be shorting this, or you have to be thinking about shorting it. I say you have to as if I did. I did not. But this is clearly a trend shift on the hourly. And then it's above all-time high. It shifts bearish. We're back below the previous all-time high, and then it gives you a sell back testing that previous all-time high level, right? So this is a bearish retest. If I pull my fib from here to here, I bet you this is the 50% if I had to guess. And I bet you if I pull my fib from here to here, this is right in the OTE. So if I pull my fib from here to here, lo and behold, right into the OTE. And if I pull my fib from here to here, Oh, right into the OTE as well. So you have, again, like I said, layers of confluence. You have the bearish market structure, you have your key high time frame level, and now you have your range, and you're shorting basically just above the mid-range into your OTE. So there's multiple pieces of confluence to get in this short with this stop here. So this exact fractal here, we could see play out above this new all-time high. We could see the exact same thing, right? There's your lower high. Here's short op number 1. There's short op number 2. That's exactly what you see here. Okay? So rewatch that, drill it into your fucking brain because that's super fucking important. All right. Any questions about that? So that's BTC done for me. I mean, if I zoom in onto like the hourly or something here, this would be a potential low time frame long trigger right here. So if we're able to flip this breaker, right? So if we're able to flip this breaker, which is confluent with our high time frame level, if we can flip this, you could enter a long targeting these highs here. I wouldn't see anything wrong with that. I probably would put my stop here if I was going to take that long as opposed to right here. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. That's just like kind of like a more of an intraday setup, again with a target of here. So that's a really, you could even have your stop here based on how far your target is. You're still going to get at least a 2-to-1 risk reward here with something like this. Maybe not quite 2-to-1. 1.8 with a super loose stop. More conservative stop, well over 3R. And then obviously the uber tight douchebag stop, 10R or fucking bust. All right. So hopefully that makes sense for Bitcoin there. I'm going to check the chat and make sure everyone is still with me and following along. You guys caught up to the part where I mispronounced Bybit. I just mispronounced it. It was just a slip of the tongue. It's very obvious that I meant Bybit, not the other one. They who shall not be named. Is this where the saying "I'd net" comes from? I don't know, probably. You see Elon's tweet? No, I did not. You forgot it's Mother's Day. Call your mom, dude. What the fuck? You're watching me talk on Twitter. You should be talking on the phone to your mother. Neck thicker than a Colombian love doll. I don't know what a Colombian love doll is, but thank you. I'm going to cover LTC, bro. Relax. Take me like a day to grow an Arab beard. Oh, I'm jealous, bro. Drop some more likes for the king. Yeah, please do. Give me some fucking likes. What the fuck? Is Trader Main the neck guy? Yes, bro. I'm the neck guy. Is this your first time fucking here or something? Bro, who is your opponent in Dubai? I'm not fighting anyone in Dubai. I don't think anyone wants this fucking smoke. But they can get it. They can get it. Follow me, Tweak, on Twitter. No. All-time high. My homie Main is bullish at resistance. What are you talking about? Did you listen to anything I just fucking said? LTC gains are meager. It's not even a top 10 CB token. Yeah, it's only up 10% today. That's so shit, bro. Swing failure pattern is what SFP is, yes. Okay. Does cred pay me? Not nearly enough. My God, that supply box is $4,000. Yeah, so you don't just short. I mean, everything is fucking relative. People, I think, have zero understanding how anything fucking works. When they comment shit on my tweets, like, oh, that fucking box is so big. It's like, well, fucking, yeah, it is, right? Like, if you're going to short this as just a daily order block. So if you just think, if your entire premise is that we reject from this daily, because the premise here is we made a lower low on the daily. A pullback into here would be your perfect OTE short for another lower low, right? So yes, the supply box is fucking huge, right? Which means your stop is going to be very far away from your entry, which means if you're going to enter this being a daily bearish order block with the anticipation that we make a lower low, your position size needs to be planned for accordingly. So let's say that you enter right at the edge of the box and you put your stop right at the top edge of the box, but your target is a new low. It's a 3.5 hour trade. Your stop is 6% away from your entry. Does that mean it's a shit trade? No, it's 3.5 hour, right? But when your stop is that far from your entry, you can't go in with the same position sizing as a trade where your stop is 2% away from your entry. So that's what that calculator on that exchange is for. That's what you should understand about risk management is where your entry is and then where your stop is relative to that entry is going to be a crucial part of determining your position sizing for the trade. This is a 3R trade. I could also find a 3R trade where I'm entering in, tighter because there's some sort of weakness here, right? So it depends what you want to fucking do. But you can trade this as a daily bearish order block with your entry here, your stop here, and your target being a new low based on us being bearish on the daily. And you could get a 3R trade plus, but you have to be aware, right? You might only short 3 Bitcoin here, where on a tighter trade, you might short 10 Bitcoin, right? Your position size is going to be changed when your stop, have to be lower when your stop is that far from your entry. But it doesn't change the fact that you can get a 3.5 hour trade here. This is the daily. But that's why I also mentioned, right, that you need to, I'm not just shorting this, right? I'm not shorting this. What I'm looking for is a sign of weakness. So if we come in here and give me a reason to short, right? Something like this, a failure to reclaim a level, right? A swing failure pattern above a high and then back below. That would be a reason to short. And now on the lower time frame, I'm getting in with a tighter setup, which means I don't have to target here to get 3R. I can probably just target back into this area to get 3R because my stop and my entry are going to be closer to each other, not 6% away. Right? So yes, this is a big fucking box, but I'm not telling you just to short this blindly. You can, right? But then realize you're targeting here and your position size needs to account for how big of a range this is. Okay? LTC to 500. Let's fucking go indeed. We'll look at Link. I got Link on the list. What's the difference between a breaker and supply and demand? A breaker is a type of supply and demand that runs a key level. I have an entire post dedicated to breakers and order blocks in my Discord. I also have them posted on Twitter. If you go on Twitter and you type in hashtag TM for TraderMain, TA tips, I have an infographic where I explain what a breaker is and what I explain what an order block is. So go check those out. Okay, these questions are going nuts here. All right, I'm gonna just keep going to the charts, and then I'll come back. I'll come back to the chat here. So we'll do Ethereum next. So Ethereum's obviously gone fucking bonkers, right? I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, this looks like just fucking an anthill at this point. Like, this is fucking crazy. So what you need to do, right, is you need to find a time frame where there is some sort of... Remember when we all thought this SFP of all-time high was the beginning of the end? Where there's some sort of meaningful level to work with. Because there's nothing. And that's what worries me about where we're getting to in the bull run. Like, I actually think it's good that Bitcoin had a red monthly, right? Because you can only have so many green ones in a row, right? So a bunch of green, red monthly, and then more green. Bunch of green, red monthly, and then hopefully more green. But this obviously never goes straight up forever. So there will be a red monthly eventually on Ethereum, but there's nothing on here, you know, that gives me a level to work with at this high of a time frame. Absolutely nothing. This thing is just like a straight up fucking, I don't even want to call it a parabola because it's not even curved. Even on the weekly, like literally weekly demand is here. Like, I don't think we're coming back here. So don't get your hopes up. At least not for a while. So, you know, nothing here on the weekly. Go down to the 3-day. This is your 3-day area of demand. Right? So if you look at the 3-day on this versus this, you can tell which asset is stronger. This is consolidating, right? This is slowing down. This is losing some momentum. This is a fucking big FU to momentum. It's like we're going up only forever, apparently. So this is your 3-day demand on Ethereum. So again, this is way far away from price. I don't think we're coming back here for a while. The daily, we now have something to work with, right? So basically all of these levels down here, I think are going to be irrelevant for a long time. I just don't see Ethereum taking like a 50% haircut quite yet. I think it's much more likely that if we do get some sort of pullback, that it's into this area here. So I don't know if that's going to happen. We might get lucky. There's no way of knowing for sure. But if you get a pullback here, this is absolutely a giga long, right? So if you're like wondering how people get those kind of crazy longs on those capitulation moves and shit, they're going on the high time frame, they're marking out key high time frame levels that have been untested, and then they're setting alerts or bids at those levels. I'm not really one to bid blind, but if I were I'm setting an alert here, right? Because I want to know if Ethereum pulls back here. Because if it do, I want to be on my screen potentially just aping into a fucking giga long. Because we basically have a 2-day order block here, and then we have an order block here. So you kind of can blend this whole area as demand, in my opinion. This is just a little bit of fucking discretion here. Like, the rules, right? The rules are it's just this candle. But I'm taking a little bit more. I like using these two together. I'm going to blend them. That's just me. Bitcoin pumping. Let's fucking go. I love when everything goes up. It's the best feeling in the world. All right. So a pullback to here is a giga long in my opinion. So if I'm you, I'm putting an alert here because I want to know if price comes back here because this is one of those zones where price does one of these, right? Where it does a quick wick and then it moves away. So you have an alert here, you come to your computer, you get into a long or something, and then, you know, within minutes you're up 5-10%, right? So that's how you get and catch these wicks. Like, look at, all you had to do is had an alert here. Long, long, long. What the fuck? Every time I use the roller, it does this fucking bullshit. Right? But this level here, right, you had it out, you know, that's the giga long before the next move up. So if this trend is going to continue, this is where it will retest before continuing. It doesn't have to come back here. It could go up further and then come back here. But the bottom line is have some alerts here or some resting bids, low leverage, maybe just some small bids that you can add on to on confirmation, right? Because if this comes down here, right, and then just V bottoms and you didn't get on screen on time, fuck, you're fucked if it's just a wick. But maybe it comes down here, right, and then it keeps selling off. You don't want to have a full-size position on here with no stop. You still got to use risk management. But if you have a couple orders here, you come to your screen on the low time frame, it starts getting bullish, well, then you add. And now you have a great entry to average up, right? So I would absolutely set an alert here on Ethereum. No guarantee that we come and tag this area, but if we do, to me, this is one of those areas that if you get filled, you know, within a day, it's up 10% from your entry and you're fucking laughing straight to the bank, like 50 cent. And that's not that crazy of a pullback. That's less than 10%. That's completely can happen, right? This candle on its own is 6.5%. The distance from current price to this box is like 7. Okay? So that would be kind of daily demand. Zooming in, 12 hours the same. Market structure is very clearly bullish. Okay? Market structure. Low, high. There's your low that generated the new high. This is now your trading range. Could we break out and go higher? Absolutely. So how do you fucking trade this? It's so simple. There's your range. Just gonna make this a little bit cleaner. Here's my range. Where's my daily demand that I had? Okay, I'm gonna draw that daily demand back on here, just in gray. What does this fucking look like to you? What is this? Anyone in the class? Does anyone know? Y'all like the new rollie? Y'all like the new rollie? Shout out to the boys, Crypto Mo. Or at Crypto Aladdin and fucking Mo. What does the gray box look like? I'm curious. Someone tell me. What do you think the gray box is? A neck. Ape zone. Bullish order block. A fucking rectangle. It's a fucking rectangle. I wish I could do a Conor McGregor accent. Who the fuck is that guy? Tetris block. Discount price. We have a winner. We have a winner. Premium. We have someone who's almost a winner. Okay. So, yes. All right. That's buying at a discount. What's up? What's up? OTE. Trader Reno. What's up, homie? All right. Beautiful. So, if we're trading this trading range, what do we want, right? Again, we have multiple pieces of confluence. Piece of confluence number 1, market structure, right? We have bullish market structure. Piece of confluence number 2, we have our daily bullish order block, right? Piece of confluence number 3, we have our range, right? Where do we want a long price in a range? Do I want a long above 50% or do I want a long below 50%, right? You want a long at a discount. Where do you go fucking to buy shit, right? You want to buy shit that's on sale, not shit that's marked up. You want to sell shit marked up, buy at a discount. Sell at a premium, buy at a discount. So when we're in an uptrend, which we are, you want to be buying in the lower half of the range. So if I just gave you the trading range, right? Where the fuck do you want to buy? You want to buy down here. So there's just so much sauce. It's almost too much sauce. So I have my daily bullish order block. I have my market structure. I have my range. My order block is going to line up perfectly with my OTE, my discount pricing, right? Let's see if I just put this one on pocket. Right there. So there's my bullish order block. Here is my discount pricing below 50%. So we have range. We have trend, we have all of these factors adding up, stacking up the confluence to make this a high probability area to either long or to look to get long. So you could either set bids here, right, with your stop here or your stop right here, but I'd probably put it below the swing low. Set some bids with a stop, layer in, hope you get a fill and then a move away, or, right, you wait for price to come here and then you go on the lower time frame because this is the H12 and you look for some sort of bullish trigger. Maybe it's a return to origin of a bullish order block. Ba-boom, right? That would be a sick area to fucking long Ethereum, okay? Now, does that have to happen? Absolutely not. We could just go up from here. And if that's the case, what do we want to do? Where do we want to be longing? We want to be longing near key levels within the range. So if we don't get the pullback all the way here, we could look for a long here. So look for bullishness here. If we pull back here, go below here, but then reclaim the low. Well, now you've got a deviation, you've got an entry, you've got your risk defined. That's a long. Or if we just push up from here, well, where's my next long? If we push up from where we are right now, let's say this daily candle closes like this. Okay, so let's assume for a second that this closes as a big green candle. Well, now what do we have? We have a new bullish order block here, confluent with our old range high. That's your retest to long. So I've now given you 4 separate ways, maybe even 5. I don't know. I wasn't counting. But I've given you multiple different ways that you can get in a long, all depending on what price does, because that's how trading works, right? It's if this, then that. If this happens, then I do this. Right? If this happens, I'm doing, layering in and then going. Okay? So you have multiple scenarios where you can get into a trade with a risk-defined entry at key levels with multiple pieces of confluence lining up. That's a high probability opportunity. Those are the kind of trades you want to be taking. All of your trades should be when you have multiple pieces of confluence stacked up on each other. This is what I've just explained to you here is enough to build an entire fucking strategy on. If you spend the time going, like I do this every fucking week, I do these videos, and like I said, I'm way better off the top of the dome. If you asked me to fucking write this plan out, I would have an awful time doing it. I would hate it. I'd procrastinate. I'd probably never do it. It took me like 5 months to do the in silico crayons video, right? But when I'm just spitballing and I have the chart in front of me, it kind of just flows out. But like I do these kind of little fucking raves, and I know some people don't like them, but I'm telling you, and I don't want to sound like a fucking douchebag, like there's value in rewatching old streams, not just because I want you to watch my videos and pump up my fucking YouTube numbers. I could care less, but pump up, like, and subscribe and fucking share with your friends. But sometimes I just spit shit like this, and if you rewatch it, like that's 95% of what I do is what I just explained to you there. 95% is there, right? There's a few things obviously that I'm not fucking gonna share, maybe fucking some little pieces of my edge that I'm not just gonna fucking give out. But the basics of my strategy just laid out in the last 10 minutes of this video, and I fucking do this every week where I just drop some fucking bullshit. But if you rewatch it and then not just watch it, but then go and try and do this in your chart. This works on any chart, any altcoin, any Forex coin, any time frame. You line it up, you dial it in, and you can do this kind of shit. And you'll see it work. It works, I promise you. So the only short opportunity, like this is like shorting a rocket ship going into space, right? So you don't want to short Ethereum unless it gives you a reason to short, right? And so that's why I mentioned way back here, which was only like literally 5 days ago when we were approaching 300 or 3,000. I said, I don't think we top at 3,000. I said, we either top at 3,000 and get a bit of a pullback, or I said we overshoot by like 10% and then get a pullback. So it went a little higher than I'd predicted. It went up to about 3,500, but then we got a decent pullback, and then boom, again. You don't want to, and I wasn't looking to short this. I mean, was there a short here? Yes, but I wasn't looking to short this because I knew that people were going to get blown the fuck out just blind shorting 3K, right? So same goes here. I don't think you want to short 4K hoping that it's the top. Could it be? Absolutely, but the trend is super strong right now, and from like a outside of a TA perspective, Spot has been leading this move, right? Spot has been following this move up. It's not just purely derivatives, right? So it's being chased very hard by Spot. Funding has been relatively low to neutral. And OI is not insane. So that means that it's not just a bunch of derivative monkeys pumping this thing to the fucking moon. This is a legit move, the type of move that you do not want to fade. I think what's much more likely is we continue to see price move up, and then as we get higher, maybe closer to 4,500, 5K, you'll start to see derivatives take the lead. And then that's going to be your signal that there may be a big shakeout coming, because there's not enough derivative monkeys in this yet for some sort of cascading liquidation event where they do a huge dump a la here, right? This is cascading liquidations here, right? There's not enough derivative interest yet for that to happen here. I think that happens higher. I think that happens closer to 4,500 or 5K, where we see, okay, spot is cooling off, this is all monkeys, and then you get that big correction, right? I think that's much more likely than happening from here, but I could be wrong. The only way I would short this where it is right now is if this is our range, if we move above, break down, and then have bearish market structure, some sort of deviation above this range, and then I'd trade it back into here, and then guess what I'd be doing? I'd look to long. I'm not holding this short to zero. I'm holding this short into a long setup. That's the only way I would short this, and this exact setup is effectively what we had happen on Bitcoin here, right? So this would be the only short setup I would take, right, is if we saw something like this. Deviate above the high, break down, bearish retest, sell off. That would be the only reason to short Ethereum, and I personally don't think that that's going to happen, but I'm prepared for anything. It's gone up like mad, so you got to be prepared for any scenario. But based on kind of what I'm seeing from the analytics side, with spot being strong, not a ton of derivative, this is not a derivative-led move, and just the market structure and the strength of FBTC, I mean, I don't see a reason to short this blindly just because we hit 4K. I'd much rather price show me that it wants to sell off and then get in a short after the fact, as opposed to just hoping that it fucking dumps. Okay, so that's F done and dusted. I gave you multiple longs, right? The breakout long, this becomes a bullish order block, range high retest, right? Or the pullback into discount below the 50% into the current order block. That's your long. You could get in on the low time frame, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully that's covered. Look at all you ICT fellows. Discount OT. Trader Reno knows what's up. What's up to you, homie? You in Dubai. Mega long, by the way. I'm not in Dubai. I live in Canada. I might have to move to Dubai, though, man. That's where all the homies are. Cornholio says half the chart. You're the same dude who keeps making fun of my mustache, bro. I might put you in timeout. I don't like you. Demand zone is correct. Where you long your life savings at 100x. Exactly. Gigalong, demand zone, discount. Yeah, all you guys nailed it. Did I even pull the fib? Yeah, I did. 61.8. Perfect. Too much sauce. ETH is the best. Gonna flip BTC market cap next week. I don't know about that, but sure. Next sauce. Why do you have different fib presets? Because I made them that way. Is it possible to give an example like this on Dash? I mean, you go look for it on Dash, right? I don't need to look for it for you. I'll look at Dash, though. I like Dash. Are you still in your Doge short? No. You're awesome. Thanks. Good stuff. That was legit a whole trading strategy. Mad flow. Truly appreciate you, man. You spitting fire. All right. I appreciate this, guys. Thank you very much for all the kind words here. This guy says, I've watched every stream literally thrice. Thank you, my guy. Handshake emoji. Main is a goat. Cool. Okay. So next thing we're going to look at here is Litecoin. Or actually, no, sorry. Sorry to get your hopes up. We're going to look at Ethereum BTC, and then we'll look at Litecoin, and then I'll open it up to chart requests. So right now I have XRP, Link, BNB, UTK. So we'll add Dash, because Dash has been cooking and moving and shaking. Okay, we'll add Dash. What else did some people say here? We'll look at Doge. I mean, there's nothing on Doge right now, but we'll look at Doge. We'll look at Doge. We'll look at What are some of the other fucking coins? We can look at Matic. I had a long at Matic at 75 cents. Closed it for a loss. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm a fucking legend. We'll look at Matic. Let's see. BNB's already on the list. Matic's on the list. XLM we can look at. Who the fuck's texting me? Sorry. This is so rude. I apologize. All right. We added XLM. I can see you guys just blowing up the chat out of the corner of my eye with a bunch of bullshit charts. As soon as I start taking requests, everyone just starts fucking throwing all their fucking bags at me. Okay, we'll look at Sol. We'll look at Sol. Sol USD. We'll look at Sol BTC. I don't imagine there's much to look at, but we'll do it. Let's see. I can't do everyone's coins, guys. I'm sorry. We can look at Rune, my baby. So I'm doing an entire YouTube video on Rune. So ask me if I'm bullish on Rune. The answer is yes. We'll look at Rune. We'll look at BCH. And we'll look at... let's do Avax. Okay, it's a lot of charts. Okay, I'm gonna stop taking requests here, guys. Stop blowing up the chat. If I can get through these in a reasonable amount of time, I'll do more. But for now, this is like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 coins. So that's gonna take me a fucking while. So I still got to go through LTC and FBTC. So I'm going to do my best. I'll make my way through the list. If we have time, I'll come back to the chat, okay? So FBTC, we have absolutely just aped through my resistance. So originally, if you go back to the very first Ethereum and Chill stream, it was on September 6th, right? So it was right here. And I talked about us pulling back into demand. Like we have nailed this shit on stream. The fact that I am not all in ETH since September is disgusting to me because I've nailed the macro direction, but that's the difference between analysis and trading. I can think like the entire, since September 6th, go watch the fucking streams. I talked about FBTC going to here inevitably. I said this is just a big ass monster uptrend and eventually we're going to here. And along the way, we called every move, okay? And then we finally went parabolic, and I'm not all in ETH. So that's the difference between analysis and trading. It's all fine and dandy to be like, I fucking called it. I told you so, ha ha ha. And actually taking the trade and making some fucking money. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I got into, I've been longing ETH. It's not like I don't own any ETH, but I should have been all in ETH on one of these higher lows, but it is what it is. This was my area. I said, we're at least going here. And I thought this area would provide at least some resistance because this is essentially your weekly breakdown level, right? So this is the level that price dumped down and, we had our kind of, fucking bear market of bear markets on Ethereum here, this long ass accumulation, and now this is broken out. So what does this fucking mean for us? Well, I was thinking we might reject here, pull back into these highs, and then go. Obviously, that was incorrect. So what I'm looking at now is this as a retest. I don't know if we'll come back here. Okay, like this, we might not come back here forever, for a long time. I don't fucking know. But if we get a pullback here, you fucking ape into Ethereum massively, okay? Because your risk reward of this is not a deviation. It's not. I'm 90. I'm not. Nothing is 100%, but this is not a deviation. We're not doing this. I just don't see that happening. That being said, if we pull back here, you ape the fuck out of Ethereum, because if you're wrong below here, but the chances of this giving you a perfect retest, if it happens, it might not. Who cares? But if it does happen, you fucking long the ever-loving shit out of this with your money, your mom's money that you gave her for Mother's Day. You take that money and you long Ethereum at this level. You steal money from little kids. You go and you fucking hold up a convenience store and you take that money and you long Ethereum at this level. If it's given. Like, this is the cleanest fucking breakdown level, broke through. If you retest this on the upside, it's like an all-in for me, okay? Obviously, don't break the law, and if it doesn't work, fucking too bad. I'll have lost money too. But this is absolutely a giga long on FBTC if it's given. I don't know if it will happen, but if it is, we're fucking gonna giga long it with the lads straight to Valhalla. Okay. Looking at the monthly, we're so fucking strong here, right? That this is now where I'm looking. And I know, again, oh man, this is a fucking monstrous box. No fucking shit. I can see it. You're not just shorting here. I'm not shorting this at all. Ethereum is going to infinity, right? But this is where a pullback could happen, right? So I'm going to leave this in on the monthly, and we're going to redraw this level on the weekly, and we're going to do some mathematics, okay? If we get some sort of pullback from here, I'm not looking to short it. Like I said, on Ethereum USD, if we get some sort of deviation, right, blah, 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 I'll short it. I'm not looking to short this. If this has some sort of so instead of shorting this, if we have some sort of weakness in here, right, where all of a sudden you're like, oh, this looks like it's going to pull back, you don't have to short this, but what you can do is take profit from ETH and put it back into BTC. Because if this trends down for a week or a month, right, that means that BTC is going to be outperforming ETH. So you can rotate profits from ETH into BTC. And I wouldn't think that's the craziest thing. After the run that we've seen alts go on recently and Bitcoin kind of doing shit fuck all, I wouldn't be surprised if in the relatively near future we have a period of time where Bitcoin begins outperforming some altcoins, meaning this pulls back, meaning you can rotate some of your money that you've made in Ethereum back into Bitcoin, right? And capture some of this downside without actually shorting it, right? Trading ETH for BTC is effectively shorting this chart, right? So again, if we see something like this, sure, I'll look to potentially rotate some ETH back into BTC, whatever it is. But again, this would be the gig along, right? And I know it seems crazy and it's like, oh, we're never going back there. But you have to realize we are up 130% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight green weekly candles. 130% move in 6 straight green weekly candles. There's bound to be a red one soon. So that's essentially the entire play, is maybe we get another one here and then we get the candle like this, right? And then obviously the flippening happens and it's all ETH, everything. Vitalik becomes the supreme leader of the world. You know, he turns the entire planet into My Little Pony. But that is kind of what I would be anticipating. You know, some sort of move up into here and then a potential pullback. And it's going to happen eventually. I don't know if it will pull back this far. It might do this, right? You don't fucking know. But just like I said on Ethereum USD, this is where you set fucking alerts. Because if we do come to this level, you want to be getting in along, or at least looking at getting in along. The pullback from here to here is not even 20%. So it's completely within the realm of a bull market pullback to see some sort of pullback to that kind of a level before continuation to the upside. So that would be absolutely kind of something that I would be potentially prepared for, is, maybe one more move up, right? And then some sort of pullback. Maybe it's in one candle, maybe it's in two candles, right? And then a continuation of the trend to the upside. And this is where we get gig along, sell your babies, sell your kidneys, sell weed, take that money, flip it into fucking more weed, and then get even more money, use that money to fucking long this level while you're smoking weed. I don't know. You want to long this if you're given the opportunity. All right. So long story short, we're giga bullish on FBTC coming into an area of potential resistance. If we get a pullback to this, you long it. I gave you the plan for FUSD, done and dusted. All right, we just had the daily and weekly close. So let's see if we get any action. There's your daily open on Bitcoin and the weekly close and the weekly open right there. Here is your daily open, weekly close, weekly open on Ethereum. All right, so we've got a plan. If you look at this on the lower time frame, like on the hourly, this is putting in an SFP. So looking on Ethereum here, the hourly, it's not, I wouldn't consider this a top yet. If this rolls over from here, then potentially we get that pullback I've been talking about, right? So, on the daily, there's nothing for you here. It's just a fucking big green candle with a long lower wick. On the hourly, like, it's too strong to short. I mean, there's an argument to be made that we marginally higher high, made a lower low. Now we're retesting supply. So this could sell off. But I'm not really interested in shorting this. I would wait for like a break of this low and then a retest before shorting, because we could run this low and then bounce. It's too strong. I don't want to short it here. This could just be fucking a consolidation before another fucking move up. So I'm not really interested in shorting, but something to watch, right? If you want to watch the lower time frame, the clue, whether we get this level or not, it's going to appear on the low time frame first, right? And if you look at Bitcoin looks okay. FBTC on the hourly, we do have this little SFP here. So if we were to break this low, that would be a reason to potentially expect some downside. And again, you don't need to short this, but you could then rotate some profits from here into Bitcoin and then look to reload down here. Like, this doesn't look that far away. When you look at it on the low time frame, like a move and like a run of like some of these lows here doesn't seem that fucking crazy. Doesn't seem that crazy. And I'm longing the ever-loving shit out of it if I'm given the opportunity. I don't know if I will, though. Who knows? All right. LTC, the coin everyone has been waiting for. LTC going to 400. Crazy. Crazy. Finally, redemption. Redemption. Feels good. So we've made an all-time high on LTC. I don't care what anyone says. The only exchange that we haven't made an all-time high on is Coinbase. So I simply don't count it, because every other exchange we have made an all-time high. So in my opinion, LTC already made an all-time high, and there's some fucking dweebs in my comments being like, oh, all-time high is 420. Suck it. Suck it. I don't care about the Coinbase chart. I don't care. So to me, LTC already made a new all-time high. So very similar to ETH, I think LTC is going to do a big old fucking move. Like, I've been waiting on this. Look at that gold long. That gold long was pure spice. Traded live. Posted it on Twitter. Stop entry target in advance. 3R. Barely any drawdown. It got like 30 likes. Unbelievable. People hate free money, apparently. A 3R trade on gold is worth just as much as a 3R trade on fucking Bitcoin. It's 3R. R is all that matters. All right. But I digress. I think LTC, man. Right? Like, LTC's got some catching up to do, man. I think LTC is going to start going parabolic. Like, if you just look at this from just like a pattern recognition, this is this. And we just put in this big green candle. Like, I think LTC has like a fucking huge move soon. Monstrous move soon. So I've been bullish. My mistake, right? And people are asking me, everyone's like stoked that LTC's pumping. I'm obviously stoked LTC's pumping. I own a lot of LTC. The mistake that I made was back in February, which is here, I thought LTC was going to have a period of outperforming Ethereum. So I put more money in LTC than I did in Ethereum. I still own both, but I had more of my portfolio allocated to LTC. LTC basically proceeded to do nothing for the next month and a half while Ethereum went monster trend. So as much as I might be right that this is going up and it was going to go up and it was just a matter of time, in terms of like a portfolio allocation and timing, I missed the boat on that. And, there's no shame in it. It happens. I still make money, but I didn't optimize and maximize my capital rotation between the two coins. But it is what it is, baby. So expecting big things for LTC, up only. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm charting it. This thing is going to absolutely fucking melt. This thing is going to melt to the upside, and I'm here for it. Not only I'm here for it, I fucking deserve it. Very similar strategy to Ethereum. I don't know where the high is, right? I don't know. This could be the high. We could go and make another high. If we get any sort of pullback into the lower part of the range, right, you're going to want to long it. I don't know if we will, but if we do, you're going to want to long it. Otherwise, wait for some sort of breakout. But there's nothing here on the H12 to play yet, right? We have our consolidation before the breakout. If we get a retest of that consolidation, a return to the origin of the move, right? That's the return origin. It's a long, but right now we've moved away pretty aggressively. So no setup here on LTC kind of on the higher time frame. There's nothing. H12, if we get kind of into the 360 area, absolutely get looking for a long. H4, probably obviously the H1 as well. H4 gives you a nice little level here. So maybe we don't get this deep, right? But if we do get here, right? If we do get here, that's an area of interest for a potential long on LTC. If we get some sort of pullback into here, right? Some sort of bullish setup in here on the lower time frame, or just long this order block. Like, to me, this is like a blind long here. I would just like set limits like that. Stop there. You could even do your stop here, right? Because the target is like 500. Easy. Easy. The first target is 420.69. Next target is 500. But yeah, this looks super bullish. Pullbacks are for longing. This is kind of the range I'd be watching. If we get a pullback to here, I think you giga ape into it. Yeah. But yeah, feels good that it's going up. Feels bad that I've been in this so long when ETH has been outperforming it like a mother. Looking at LTC, BTC, I've been tracking this for fucking ages, and basically the entire premise for my investment was that this downtrend is just going to break out Giga Chad, because that's what LTC does. LTC BTC runs very similar to XRP and to Doge, in that it looks like absolute shit, and then it completely destroys all of the fucking like year of selling in like a couple of candles. And that's exactly what is about to happen here. So I've been waiting for this. We came all the way back down, retested the return to origin of this entire move, and then we came right into the order block. And then basically I've been longing LTC here, hoping that I'm going to catch the one that fucking goes. It just took longer than I thought. So idea was right. I'm making money, but it fucking took me, I fucked up the timing massively. Zooming in my last video, a couple videos ago, I talked about how we had made a higher high on the weekly. I said we made a higher high on the weekly. So the next pullback is a fucking long, giga long. So on the 19th of April, what did LTC do on the 19th of April? Gave you one last pullback. Boom. So this down move here, this down move, okay, is on here, the last area of pullback here after making a higher high on the weekly. That entire weekly down candle is that big pullback on LTC USD before the next giga leg. So I talked about this happening. I said we made a higher high. We closed as a higher high. Next pullback is along. Obviously, boom, back tested this downtrend line perfectly. We're now coming up into resistance. Once we flip this area, I'm pretty sure we just rocket ship to here. We're going to run this high, we're going to run this high, and we're going to come up into here. And this is an area, you have this big kind of top here. So you take the bottom of it. This is probably where we're going to see at least some sort of cool off. But I'm expecting giga expansion on LTC here. This looks like it's ready to just burst another 60+% to the upside. And what does that mean for LTC USD? It means the number is going to go up. It's going to go up aggressively. We're already up 2.5% just today. This is about to tag $400 while we're on stream. So really glad that this is finally playing out. Again, similar to FBTC, I nailed the market direction. I nailed the analysis, but execution is everything. How you actually execute the trade and make money, that's more important than the fucking analysis. You can do all the pretty cool analysis, fractals and bullshit, whatever you want. If you're not making money and if you're not executing the trade properly, it's all irrelevant. So nailed this one, but from a timing perspective, I did not nail it because basically I got super bullish on LTC in February, right? So I started getting bullish here, right? And then we just kept grinding lower. And during this period of time, ETH has fucking outperformed massively, right? So too bad it happens, but LTC is ready to fucking rip. And if you look at LTC Ethereum, right, you can see where my mistake was made, right? Is we had a period of where I was bullish on LTC early. So if you look at February here, I thought this was going to be where LTC began to outperform Ethereum, and they just grinded down. So I am expecting now that Ethereum has gone on this huge run and LTC BTC is clearly breaking out, that we're now going to have that period of time where LTC outperforms Ethereum. And so what does that mean? Well, if LTC BTC is here, right? And this fraction is going up, right? Which it is right now. That means that LTC is outperforming Bitcoin. So if LTC US or ETH is in an uptrend, that means that LTC is outperforming Ethereum. And you can do this with any fucking fraction. You can do this with any chart. So if you want to say, okay, well, let's see how BTC USD is trading relative to Tesla. You can actually see a chart of BTC USD versus Tesla. And you can see for most of 2020, so here's the March, where's COVID here? Here's COVID right here. BTC has been, is the numerator, right? So Tesla was actually outperforming Bitcoin for a period of time. And now Bitcoin is outperforming Tesla. And this looks like it's about to giga ape. So if we look at the chart of Bitcoin next to the chart of Tesla, what we should see is Tesla outperform and now Bitcoin outperform. So what I mean is Bitcoin should be looking more bullish than Tesla right now. So let's test that theory out here. Watch it not look how I think it looks and me look like a fucking idiot. There you go. Right? So right now, Bitcoin in a much cleaner uptrend than Tesla. Higher highs and higher lows on Bitcoin, lower highs and lower lows on Tesla. So it's no different than looking at LTC. Well, it's too early to compare LTC to ETH yet because it hasn't moved. But you get the fucking idea. Fractions, they're cool. So bottom line, I was fucking right. I fucking told you so. But I didn't play this as well as I could have, and that sucks. But yeah, it is what it is, right? You fucking live and you learn and you make money, and sometimes you make a lot, sometimes you make less than you should have. That's trading, baby. All right. We are literally going to hit 400 LTC on fucking stream, and that's hype. Okay, so we're already an hour and a half deep. I guess I've been fucking talking a lot. What I'm going to do next here is go rapid fire through these charts because I do not want to be on stream for fucking 3.5 hours. I did the up-only stream on Thursday. It was like 2.5 hours. I did an hour and a half with Cred on Friday. So I'm doing a lot of streaming the last few days. Yeah, I'm going to do, whoa, I just had the weirdest fucking deja vu. Oh, fucking trip me the fuck out. What the fuck? Okay. So I'm going to, rip through these fucking charts here on the side, and then we'll see how much time is remaining. After I do that, I'm going to take a quick look at the chat, see if there's any questions that I can quickly answer. Hopefully all of this shit is making sense to you guys, because I feel like I'm dropping a lot of fucking knowledge, but rapid fire. So sometimes it might be going over your head or something like that. So please let me know if you find these kind of fucking rants valuable. Because I think they're extremely valuable. I wish someone explained trading to me like this when I was first learning. Everyone makes trading this fucking mystique, fucking secret society. I know shit, you don't know shit. Fucking pay me money and I might show you some shit, but I'm not going to show you everything. And I don't fucking get it. I think, yes, there's some extremely complex and difficult trading things, right? Like the way some people, a guy like Cuban, who I love, trades is way different than how I trade. There are some similarities. He uses, some price action stuff, I'm sure, but he trades way different than how I trade. He uses some indicators, some order flows, shit like that, stuff that I don't understand, and that is definitely more complicated than what I do. I'm much more of a kind of basic TA kind of shit. And it works for me. You look at Rookie, right? Rookie's the homeboy. Rookie trades like very basic trading patterns, right? Ascending triangles, wedges, and absolutely slays, right? So there's multiple ways to skin the cat for sure. But I think trading doesn't have to be as complicated as some people make it out to be. And sometimes you just need someone to break some shit down for you. And then obviously at the end of the day, I could show you exactly what I do. I fucking am. I show you guys 99% of what I'm doing here, but it doesn't mean you can go and do it yourself. You still got to put in the chart time, put in the hours, learn how to manage the emotions and the stress and the fucking all that bullshit. All that just takes experience and chart time, right? But if someone shows you the basics, now you have a good starting point to go out there and fucking apply that shit. But the way I trade might not work for you. You might prefer to use indicators. You might prefer to trade order flow. You might prefer to trade fucking all sorts of shit. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, enough of that rant. I'm going to get into this fucking shit here. So let's take a quick look at the chat here. All right, bunch of chart requests here. How do you figure out if spot or derivatives is stronger? You go look at a spot exchange or a spot pair, right? So if you're looking at the Coinbase price versus the BTC perp price, that's going to be a difference, right? So if you look at BTC USD on Coinbase, right now it's trading at 58,174. if you go look at the BTC perp price on that, it's trading it at essentially the same price. Let's see if we can look at LTC perp. LTC perp's at 39.96. LTC USD 30.96 on the nose. So they're trading very close to each other. That means that the spread, the premium, is quite tight. What you want to see in really strong moves is you want to see there be almost no premium, or you want to see spot leading the move, right? Where you get in trouble, where you have the OI, the derivatives apes, and that where I talk about that, that's generally when, let's say we were looking at LTC USD and it was at 395, but LTC perp was at 400. Now there's a big premium in there, right? There's also websites that you can use to find this type of information. This guy says ETH is killing LTC bad and will continue to. I think you're wrong for the next little bit, but sure. I think ETH is going to continue to go up. I have no doubt, but LTC is about to go gangbusters. Believe it. Main said ETH was being pushed up by spot, but ETH derivative is higher than spot, but not by much, right? So on Bitfinex right now, it's at 3,900. The perp is at the spread is tiny, so I'm not necessarily saying spot is leading, but spot, the premium is almost non-existent, which is a sign of a strong trend. If this was at 39.50 and spot was at 3,900, that's derivatives leading. But when the move is being pushed up and spot is either leading or keeping up with it, that's generally a strong sign. BTC is going to hit at least 200K sans Black Swan this year. Okay, bro. Does Prime XBT let you long gold? Prime does. Bybit does not. If you haven't paid attention, LTC legs ETH pleb. Okay. Why is no one talking about ETC? Because ETC is a trash coin, but I can look at it if I have time. It doesn't matter. Who cares what it does, right? Does it go up? Great. Trade it. But I'm pretty sure ETC, like you missed the long on this, right? Like, Jesus Christ, what a move. I did not realize it went this fucking ham. Yeah, the reason I'm not talking about ETC is because it's up 500% in the last 9 days. So longing it here, this looks like the end. This looks like this. Back to oblivion. Like, maybe it goes higher. I don't know. Maybe it does another leg. But this thing is up 5x in the last 9 days. So unless you longed it before the month of May, longing it here seems pretty fucking dumb. Like, there's nothing here. This is kind of where you would want to see if it potentially bounces, because maybe it's going to go higher. I don't know. Maybe it comes here, right? But I know that the coin does nothing. It's looked like this. It's done nothing for like 2+ years, and then in the last 2 months, it's done like 1,000%. So you probably missed the boat. That's why no one is talking about it, because the long already happened. But who knows? Maybe it'll go up higher. Okay. For all you wondering, R equals radius of the neck. Exactly. If you had been heavy long ETH, would you rotate your whole bag now? Not yet. I think ETH, like I said, right? I don't think there's a reason to get out of ETH BTC yet. If it starts showing some weakness and wanting to pull back, maybe that's an opportunity to rotate into some LTC or into some BTC. But you want to line up the charts, find out the optimal time. When you want to short this, That's when you want to rotate into BTC. When you want to long this, that's when you want to rotate back into ETH. So for LTC ETH, you want to rotate into LTC when that chart gives you a long setup. I just looked at ETC USD. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This guy says my neck isn't that thick. I think you should suck it, bro. My neck is the thickest. Of course it's not that thick. It's a meme. Looks like you're late for LTC BTC. You can rewind or watch this later. It stays up on YouTube. Oh, God. Hey, man, the cred interview was pure alpha. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks for keeping this simple and doable. Thanks, Cody. Fundy Main has entered the chat. I don't even know what that means. Would you jump into LTC now or wait for a pullback? Thanks for great content. I don't know. It just went up 10% in a day, but I gave you guys some long setups already. Just go watch. Okay, I'm gonna get back into the charts here because I only have so much bandwidth left before I fucking burn out, and I haven't even talked about any other charts except for fucking LTC, ETH, and BTC. The problem with me is I get on these fucking tangents and I just start ranting and educating and shit, and then I forget about analyzing all the charts that you guys request. So I apologize, but like you said, some of you guys think this is valuable, so you fucking... Can I do LTC again? No, rewind the video. What the fuck, bro? Come on. 350 people watching here, man. You can rewind the video. But anyways, let's try and fucking power through some of these charts. So we had a killer long on fucking on Ripple down here. So I longed some Ripple here, but I closed here. We now have a very nice SR flip here, right? So Ripple to me looks good to go higher. I know people hate Ripple, but I'm pretty sure we're about to see Ripple leg up again here. This looks really good to me. So we have an SR flip here. I'm now looking at this level. This is a perfect low, high, higher low. Like, we're going to see $2. Did we hit $2 yet? No. We're going to $2 at least, probably beyond. But this, to me, looks super good to make another leg up to higher prices. So I like that a lot. I'm bullish on XRP. I think XRP is going to... and XRP, when it goes ham, right? It goes ham. Fucking stupid thing. So, yeah, expecting at least $2, but... if I'm being honest, probably higher. There's nothing over there. There's nothing here. Here's your target. Yeah, so Ripple, I would say probably going up to this area here. Probably 230 would be my target. So, skirt. We'll do one of these. We'll do one of these for the clout. For the clout. Okay, bullish on Ripple. This played perfectly when we came in here and we got the bounce. So these levels are from over here, right? So I'll just redraw this one, or we'll just leave on the daily. Yeah, it's on the daily. So I'm going to delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. So Ripple USD on the verge of fucking going giga up. And Ripple BTC is coming into its third tap of resistance, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got multiple taps of resistance. We've got an SFP here into demand. This is a long. So I like this a lot. I think this is going to break out, and that is going to lead to a breakout on Ripple USD as well. So Ripple BTC looking good, Ripple USD looking good. I'm expecting this to go and attack this high here very soon. Bullish. Link. I haven't touched this chart in ages. And look what it's doing, right? Higher lows, right? I talked about a big weekly breakout here. Pullbacks are for longing. If you look on the daily, we got the pullback right here, essentially. Broke the level, came back, retested. We're pushing away. So I'm bullish on Link as well. Could we pull back more? Sure, right? Like the weekly could give you a red candle here, but this looks like it's got some legs here. So this is similar to the Ethereum breakout to me. This is a level you want to mark on your chart. If we pull back here, you want to look for a long, but ultimately, I think if this holds, right, and we don't reject, because we do have a little bit of consolidation here, this could cause price to pull back. But right now, what I see is a low, a high, a higher low, and now a higher high. So what is my anticipation of the next move? It's a higher low. Maybe it's into here. I don't know. Maybe it's just to here. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. But right now, trend is bullish. I think the logical target for Link BTC is into here based on the weekly. Yes, there will be pullbacks before. It's not going to go in a straight line. Maybe it will. But this looks pretty good to make a higher high here, or to just continue this trend. Unless it rejects super fucking hard here for some reason, my anticipation is higher highs, higher lows, higher high, boom, into there. That would be my expectation for the stinky Linkies, the Link Marines. I made one negative post about Link, and oh my god, I've not heard the end of it. I hate coins that have like fanatical fan bases, because it makes me annoyed that when the coin is bullish, these friggin' idiots, I almost said the R word, are gonna make a bunch of money. But the Link chart is bullish, right? So the Link Marines are gonna be paid well. 370 and 177 likes. That's pretty good fucking numbers for me yelling for an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. Link USD, like giga bullish, right? So Link BTC, bullish. Link USD, gonna be bullish, right? So what are you doing on this chart? You're looking along dips, right? I would say this is kind of where you're looking along dips here. So we've broken out. We've made a higher high. This is a perfect area to get in a Link USD long. Right into this demand for another leg up, right? Consolidate, retest, boom. Consolidate, retest, boom. It doesn't have to happen. It could just continue up. It can also trade lower. But this is an area where I would look for longs if it gives me a trigger. The other area where you might want to look for longs would probably be back into this area here. So if we don't long here because it fails, like for some reason, if this fucking dumps, this is where I'm looking to long, closer to $40. But for now, the trend is up. Link BTC looks strong. So this is kind of where I'd be looking for a long. Secondary area is here. All right. BNB, just the giga chaddest of all coins. Who would have thought that CZ's coin is going to be giga bullish forever? Nothing really for me on the weekly here. Looking at the 3-day, we are in the process of forming a bullish order block here. So if we get a big close like this, right? So if we get a close like that, then this becomes a bullish order block that you can then long a pullback of, right? But we need to get a close up above this high, make a higher high. then you can long the dip, right? But until then, this is not an area that I'd probably look to long quite yet. I would wait for probably some sort of lower time frame structure. So like I'm thinking more something like here, or right, a breakout and kind of retest long. So you're either going on the retest or you're going on the confirmation. Those would be the two scenarios that I would look at on BNB. I'm not longing it right where it is right now based on the high time frame. I would wait for some sort of pullback into demand, or wait for that 3-day order block to kind of create that demand. Like I just mentioned, if you zoom out and you go onto a lower time frame, you do have kind of a nice little H4 retest that's happened here. So you could argue that this is the higher low. And if that's the case, right, if it makes a higher high from here, right, now your next area is this. This top becomes your retest long for the next bottom. Okay? So if this is the low, wait for the breakout, long the dip. Otherwise, this might drither down into here again, and then you get the long. So we'll wait and see. We shall wait, we shall see. BNB, BTC still looks pretty fucking bullish. Like, Jesus Christ. Should have been a BNB maxi from the start of the year, apparently. Apparently. This price action is identical to BNB USD. PA is almost the exact same. It didn't quite come as deep. You didn't quite get the retests there, but the idea is the same. Right? You've got this here. So if this is the higher low, you're longing up here. Okay? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. UTK, absolutely god tier call on this. So for those of you that watch my videos, I did an interview with Nuno, and I've been doing like kind of bi-weekly videos on UTK, kind of updating the chart. So I've been doing those, a few coins I track, YFDI, UTK. There's a few coins that I track, and I'm just doing quick videos as a way to update them as opposed to just kind of static charts, because I like doing videos. Love the sound of all my own voice, apparently. So this pullback, the last video I did, and I did update this on Twitter already. I said I'm longing UTK here. On video, I posted it. I said I'm bullish here. I think it bounces here. I wasn't expecting this big of a bounce, but I said I'm bullish on this company as a whole. So I'm buying this fucking 3-day block, and I'm holding this for a long time. And it helps when it doubles in price right after you buy. That's always a good feeling. So we've broken market structure here, right? We've made a higher high on the 3-day. We've made a higher high, not quite yet on the weekly, but on the 3-day, bullish market structure. So looking at this now, I would like to see this new order block hold, right? Could we come back down here? Yes. I would much rather that this now becomes the floor. So like I was saying at the start of the video, what do you need for setup, confluence, context, SR, blah, blah, blah? Here is your SR, right? This is a range high. Range high, confluent with an order block, that's a long, right? So hopefully UTK has a bullish week, pushes up from here. So that's what I want to see. I want to see it hold this order block right here on the daily. That's the ideal situation. Dash has been, chatting super hard. Looks to be retesting this high and pushing up. No setup for me here on Dash on like the H12 or anything like that. Like if you go down to the hourly, right, you can always find a setup. On one time frame, there's always a fucking setup. I would probably say, something like a flip of this could be a long on the low time frame, but on the high time frame, there's just no setup for me here on Dash yet. I would wait for some sort of close through here. Some sort of close through here, and that's going to line up probably with that hourly level. And it does right there. So that 12-hour level lines up with this hourly order block. So that to me is good confluence for an SR flip. If we get it to long it, take out some of these highs here. So that could be good. Dash BTC, almost identical price action. No need to even chart it. It looks the exact same. The biggest difference would be we have price history here. So as much as like that's what's crazy. Dash USD is up massively, right? It was under $30. It's now 10x that. And you look at Dash BTC. This thing's barely fucking moved. Like, you know, on the weekly, this thing's barely fucking moved. So lots of room to go up here on this thing. Here's your resistance. Here's your support on the weekly, right? High time frame shit. So if there is a period of time where Bitcoin starts to outperform again, you long Dash here. Alternatively, you flip this. Good chance we run these highs over here. All right? Nice and easy. Doge. Oh my God, Doge. So to me, this short was the exact same short as this, right? We had huge hype going into 420. Doge is going to $1. Doge day, all that crap, right? Huge hype. A double top into the event, and everyone talking about it. Everyone on Twitter, everyone on Reddit. It's on the fucking news. My friends are texting me about Doge on 420. You short that every fucking time. And it gave you a setup. It's not like it even fucking baited you that hard. It gave you an SFP, and then it came and retested the SFP, never broke the high, and then it sold off monstrously. 60% down. And then fucking obviously Chad's up. Exact same shit. Elon Musk going on SNL. Doge to $1. Elon's going to talk about fucking Doge. Blah, blah, blah. Massive swing failure pattern. Double top into the event. And then it gave you a short setup. And the short that I took, which was literally like the Pico top, I shorted like this. Very simple, right? You have the SFP. Okay. You have the double top. You have the run of the high, and then you have a breakdown on the hourly. So we have bearish market structure, ASR and SFP. This is just a bearish retest, right? So this is a short. This spike that I shorted into was just a run of these highs into this consolidation. It's just a bearish retest. That's all I shorted. Bearish retest, stop here, closed out here. Free money. Can Doge go to $1? Absolutely, right? Anything can fucking happen. GameStop went to like 1,000 or whatever it was. Doge can go to $1. Will it go to $1? I don't fucking know. This is the BTC chart. The price action is identical on the USD chart, so don't worry about it. Can it go to $1? Yes. Will it go to $1? I don't fucking know. To me, it's got a lot of work to do. We did run this low. We're having a nice relief bounce. Above here, I'm bullish on Doge. Until then, not interested. If you longed it down here, right into demand, look at how easy that was. That previous breakdown level, right? Reclaim, boom. You now have an order block on top of former SR. That's where it bottomed. So if you long that, good for you. Here's a cookie. But I'm not interested in longing Doge personally unless it reclaims here. If it reclaims here, I'll absolutely long it. But until then, there's other shit to trade. I don't need to be trading fucking Dogecoin. Matic, I don't even want to look at because I longed Matic at like here. I longed here, held through here, sold here, and then it fucking ripped. So I hate it. I hate it with a passion. So nice big breakout here on Matic USD. Nothing clear on the high time frame unless we get some sort of retest of the previous high. So back to about 90 cents might be a long opportunity. Nothing else on the super high time frame. Nothing even really on the 4 hour. On the hourly, you have demand here. So potentially we could be putting in the low right now. We've run these lows. If this hourly candle closes in 15 minutes, how it is, it would be a swing failure pattern of these lows into hourly demand. That could be enough to juice it to a new high. So into demand right now, we are near SR. So Matic actually looks pretty good. If we close it as an SFP like we are right now, we might see another leg to the upside on Matic. Matic BTC looks essentially the same. Price action is essentially the same. Little bit cleaner actually. We're retesting this previous high right now. So this looks like a decent SR flip. Looks like a decent SR flip. There's your hourly demand. Here's your SFP. So this could be the low on Matic as we speak. And that pushes up, meaning this pushes up, meaning everyone who's long makes money. All right, XLM. I'm definitely not taking any more chart requests, guys. So please don't ask. I'm not going to do any more. It's already a 2-hour long stream, and I still have fucking more shit to do. So I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm getting fucking blown up here. All right, this looks fucking awesome. What does XLM even fucking do? What does it even fucking do? I have no idea. Hey, EXPT, go fuck yourself. Okay. So XLM, I think, looks pretty good. I don't know what this coin does, but like this is a big breakout. So big move above a monthly level, right? Hard to not be bullish. Consolidation, flipping the high. So this looks pretty good to me. Again, I don't know what this coin does. But I think this is probably going to go up. Like this looks ready to break out right now. It didn't quite give you the retest. So I would have been looking to long here. If I'm being honest, I would have looked to long here. So I wouldn't have gotten filled. So now it's the waiting game, right? Now I got to wait for the breakout. So if you miss the low, right, you got to wait for the breakout. So this looks good to me. I think breakout, close above 67 cents is a good long. Essentially the exact same chart here, right? Miss the breakout, boom, flip that, go. So Sol, I think, looks kind of shitty. And I know people are going to hate me for saying that. But this kind of looks like it's getting weaker. This guy says, knobhead, check again in 5 days. Goodbye. You're in timeout, bitch. This looks like kind of potentially like it's cooling off and it might be topping. I don't want to bet against Sam coins because they go absolutely fucking mental all the time and there's no rhyme or reason to why. They're just fucking, they moon so fucking hard. I think that this kind of looks like it's losing momentum. Like if you look here, right, huge strong trend. The only thing I can compare this to is here, which ended up with a breakout, and here, which ended up with a breakout. So maybe this ends up with a breakout too. But this isn't looking extremely strong. I wouldn't short this by any means. But if it loses support here, I think there's a case to be made that you can buy cheaper Sol. Okay, so this is the level I would watch. And I would just kind of look at it kind of like a big old descending triangle. Right, so some sort of, fucking descending triangle thing here. So if it breaks down below here, probably wait for it to go lower down into like the mid 30s before getting long. But if it can break out above these highs here, break out like, I don't know, what's the level I want? I'd probably want to see it get above here, 47. above 47, I think probably see a move up. But until then, I wouldn't. Again, this is a range, right? This is range high, range low. So delete all this for a sec. Right, this is just a range. So above the range, higher. Right now, we're just going sideways. So long near the range lows. If you are bullish and you think this goes up, long near the range lows. I wouldn't long right here personally. Doesn't mean you can't. That's just me. If we see a move up, like something like this, that would be a reason for me to long Sol. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe we get a comeback here. I don't know. Rune, I'm super bullish on Rune. Fundamentally, this is one of my favorite projects in the space. So I'm going to be doing an entire YouTube video on Rune and its fundamentals. I'll also go in depth on the chart. I'm hoping to have that done this week. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm super bullish on this from a fundamental perspective, which means my investment thesis on Rune is super long term. Like I think Rune is going to $50. Could that be in the next 2 months? Could that be a year from now? I don't know. But I'm super bullish on Rune. Not really much to say on the chart right now. Excuse me. This looks like it's the thing I like about Rune is when everything dumps and then recovers, it recovers super fucking hard, right? So we had that big April dump, right? So when the April dump that happened, Rune is up, almost 80% from then. So that tells me that it's strong. When it recovers extremely strong after a big kind of market-wide shakeout and it makes a higher high. So Bitcoin still has not made a higher high since the market-wide shakeout. Rune has made a huge higher high, right? As has other altcoins. It's not the only one. But to me, this is just like a super clean old high becomes the low and we're pushing up. Zoom in a little bit further. I don't really have a setup here on Rune. I'm in a shitload of spot Rune. But as long as we're holding above here, I think there's a good chance we go and make a higher high this week. Assuming everything remains bullish and everything keeps going up, I don't see why this won't keep going up as well. So Rune looks good to me. I'm super bullish on fucking Rune long term. And I will tell you why in my video. BCH had a big move, right? So big ass move up. There's absolutely nothing on here until 1,000 on the weekly. Go down to the H12, nothing. Go down to the H4, pretty much nothing. So, I mean, what you need to hope for is that this is just a bull flag, right? Big bull flag, and then it's going to make another leg up. Because your support is essentially like here. It's just this area. I don't know. There's no order block here for me. Like there's always an order block on one time frame, right? Here it is. Right? So there's your floor. There's your floor. Here is your triangle. Here's your potential breakout. So what you want to see on this is just continued bullish price action. So you want this to close as a higher high, which it is right now. Close as a higher high, maybe get a retest, continue, but this looks pretty good. This is not necessarily a bullish pattern, but in a strong uptrending environment, these things often break up, which is kind of what you're seeing here now. So as long as this keeps putting in bullish market structure, fucking awesome. But yeah, this looks okay. I longed it like I think around here and closed here, so I didn't get any of this upside here. Yeah, this looks okay. Last but not least, Avax. I hate how this chart looks, but this is kind of a pretty clear bias level for me. As long as we're trading above 37.30, this should go higher and at least test that level there. Right? So you have your new 12-hour order block. So here's your first order block here. We've retested that and we're pushing up. So your next setup forms here, in my opinion. So if this might just push up to here from here. But if you get some sort of move like this, that might be a long setup into here. All right. I'm not taking any more chart requests, guys. I'm sorry. We're 2 hours and 5 minutes into this stream. I'm fucking exhausted. Just did a big Mother's Day brunch with my parents, and now I want to enjoy some of my Sunday and have a little bit of relaxation time. So I'm going to take a quick look at the chat. I'm sorry I can't do any more charts. I did a fucking shitload here. I will be uploading a video probably midweek where I'll just cover some shit. It's going to be one of those shorter videos where it's less than 20 minutes, where I'll just cover some shit. Maybe I'll go over the charts that were mentioned here and I'll do an update on them so we can see if I'm just talking a bunch of bullshit out of my ass or if any of this stuff actually starts playing out. All right. Let's see here. Quick look at the chat. This guy says, I'm head and shoulders above the rest. Neckline to neckline. Thank you. I came for the neck and I'm staying for the neck. Ave looking strong. My necker. Oh my God. That's a bad word. Get out of here. BNB looks ready to go. Mr. Neck sharing some alpha. Learned a lot. Valuable. All right, great. Yeah, I agree. So what Mark said here is actually very smart. So Mark said it would actually make a lot of sense to chart your alts versus ETH. If you go look on my Twitter, I said exactly this about 4 weeks ago. I sent out a tweet. I said, now's a really good time to start charting alts against ETH, because when ETH is extremely strong, you want to chart your alts against ETH, because if your alt is outperforming Bitcoin, great. But if it's underperforming ETH, you might as well have been in ETH the entire time. Why are you in that altcoin at all? So a good practice to make. So let's say that you're bullish on Rune, like I am, right? So I can do this. I can do Rune USD, Rune USD divided by ETH USD. So now I have a chart of Rune versus Ethereum. So since last year, Rune has actually been outperforming Ethereum. So this is a good alt to be in because it looks kind of potentially like, so recently ETH has been outperforming, but for most of the year, Rune has been outperforming. So since the start of 2021, my altcoin of choice has been outperforming ETH, right? Let's say you pick a different coin, like, I don't know, what's a coin that fucking sucks? Let's use XLM, I don't know. I'm not saying it fucking sucks, but ETHUSD. So Ethereum, this has been kind of some consolidation, but for the most part, Ethereum, this is making lower lows and lower highs. Ethereum has been outperforming XLM, so this might be bullish against Bitcoin, but it's not necessarily bullish against Ethereum. So you would have been better off in Ethereum rather than XLM. So that's a great point by Mark B213. Dude, we all have ADHD. It's cool. Hop all over the place. I'm with you 100%. Dialer Turden, that's funny. Thanks for taking your time to explain in detail. Thanks. Yo, Net Capital smashing it. Thanks, bro. Do you ever chart on log? No. $2 FUD. XRP Chair Force. Could you check out Tell? Sorry, I'm not doing any more charts, man. I'm fucking fried. Thanks, boss. Best way to set up alerts, just right click on a level. Press that alarm button to add an alert. Thanks for the video, bro. Thank you. Respect the neck. The neck respects you. I learned more from this video than I did from college. You must have gotten an arts degree or something. Okay. In a bear market, you would be shorting bear shorter blocks. Yes, exactly. Thoughts on buying up tokens? LTC up, XRP up. I personally have not used these, but like I had a buddy who made a bunch of money yesterday by longing Doge Bear, right? Which is essentially like a Doge down token. So yeah, if the price action is cleaner on it and there's liquidity, go for it. Maine, I asked you last week, BNB or LTC. The chart said BNB, but looks like LTC was the winner. There you go, bro. Okay. I have the biggest trustable future signal channel if you want to join us and take profits. Shut up, Juan, you scammer. Get this fucking clown out of here. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, Victor. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it here. I'm tired. Hopefully this was valuable to you. There's a lot of good kind of educational shit peppered throughout this stream. This definitely is one that I think you'll want to rewatch more than once. And don't just watch it and then expect to figure it out. Watch it, write some notes down, and then go and look for the shit in your own chart. Right? The only way that this shit is going to click is when you see it happen in your own fucking chart, right? So here's a quick little tidbit. If Bitcoin gets back below the daily open, you short it. Or if it gets below the daily open, but then reclaims it, you long it and you put your stop there because that'll be the low of the day. But yeah, like you need to see this shit work in your own chart before it really commits to memory. It's one thing for me to yell at you about it and tell you about it. It's another thing for you to actually see it happen in your own chart, and you will. If you go and practice some of these things I showed, like that explanation I gave on ETH at the start of the video with the range, the OTE, the order block, premium versus discount, that is an entire trading strategy. You can use that solely and make money. I do it, and you can do it too. I believe in you. So you absolutely can learn from that kind of shit and apply it, but you need to spend the time doing it in your own chart, getting used to seeing it, repetition, and then you'll crush it. Cool. All right, guys, I appreciate the support as always. Thanks to Bybit for putting this video on. Really appreciate them. Help me out. Use the link in the description. Sign up. Check out their newest promotion. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, join my Discord. It's all completely free. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys probably on Twitter, obviously, and some point during the week we'll do another video. All right, guys. Thank you.